All right. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It is your man, Theo Butler. And welcome to another episode of I Ain't Saying, I'm Just Saying with the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah, man. Y'all check this out. Yeah. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. If you like, leave a comment. If you don't like, leave a constructive comment. Yeah, y'all know how we get down. If you know me, growing, sharing is caring. And constructive comments, they do grow somebody. Yeah, you gotta be willing to listen to these stuff. You know, when y'all say, Theo, hey man, tighten up, bop. Theo, tighten up. Yeah, so, oh man. First of all, shout out to my lovely wife. We just had a conversation. And full transparency. Holidays, birthdays are difficult for me. My mom passed away from tubular pregnancy when I was, a month before my 14th birthday. People in my life just died out of order. My grandfather passed when I was in my early 20s, and then my best friend passed when I was in my late 20s, and then my grandmother passed when I was in my early 30s, and then my aunt passed when I was in my mid 30s. It wasn't until recently that I realized I was dealing with abandonment issues. But it was when having that conversation that my wife said, I noticed this was the first time that I didn't see you break down. She's right. I didn't. I did not break down. And during that discussion, I was reflecting about how when I was living with my mother, she took me to the School of Performing Arts. That school that we see on Fame. My math scores prevented me from going to that school. My reading scores, my comprehension scores were off the chain. It was my math scores that prevented me from getting into that school. And what would have gotten me into that school was my ability to draw. And I haven't drawn really since my mother passed away. And she was the only one that pretty much encouraged it. When I moved to Camilla, Georgia, nobody encouraged it. You on your own if you were an artist looking like me. Wasn't necessarily encouraged in our community. When I attended school at Florida State in the mid-90s, I was going to school at that time for apparel design and merchandising. One of the classes I was taking was creative writing. And I had an art teacher, well, not an art teacher, but I had a teacher tell me the story that I wrote, it was a fictional writing class. She said it wasn't real enough because the characters that I had were flying around, shooting lasers out their eyes and everything like that. She said, no, that wasn't right. Now, this was before we got the craze with the MCU. I went back and rewrote that story. I replaced the lasers with bullets and stuff coming out of their eyes or hands coming out of guns. And instead of them flying, I had them swinging on ropes and stuff like that. So even then, at the four-year institution known as Florida State, writing about superheroes wasn't encouraged. It was when I said that to my wife just now, I realized what part of my problem is with Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore. Just like my real problem with Donald Trump isn't that he is who he is. It's because he's responsible for the USFL folding and I didn't get my football year round. Like, Theo, that's why you really upset with Donald Trump? Yes, that's why I'm really upset with Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with his presidency. It really is about the USFL, the United States Football League. That's what I'm hot with Donald Trump about. Oh, man. What I'm really hot with Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler about is you owe it to those who came before you to get this right. This isn't jealousy. This is you saying, no, you have a responsibility. There are those that came before you who, like myself, weren't encouraged to write about superheroes, to write about fiction, period. Hell, to even write. We were told to go do something else. So you're benefiting off of those who came before you. You owe it to us to get it right. To those of us who grew up reading about these characters before you, Ryan Coogler, were born, or before you, Nate Moore, even knew what a superhero was, let alone probably could spell the word superhero. Those of us who wanted to write these stories, but weren't afforded the opportunities. Those of us who wanted to produce these stories, but weren't afforded the opportunities. Those of us who wanted to direct the pictures, the movies, the TV shows that reference these stories, but didn't have the opportunity to. You owe it to us to get it right. Because that's what we wanted to do. We didn't want to do it for the money. Hell, they wouldn't have paid us like anybody else got paid back then anyway. We wanted to do it for the love of the characters. Back when Black Lightning had an afro and a white mask. Hell, back when Jon Stewart had an afro. Back when Luke Cage was wearing this loud ass yellow shirt with a chain link belt for no damn reason with some yellow pirate boots. Back when Danny Rand wasn't a laughing stock because of how somebody portrayed him on Netflix. Back when the White Tiger was a male. Back when you could read comic books that had Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris in them. Back when Shang-Chi was walking around barefoot. All we wanted to do was have the opportunity to tell the story. And hell, as Stan Lee alluded to, he had black friends. He knew of black artists, but no black superheroes. You owe it to those black artists to tell that story right. You owe it to those who paved the way, i.e. your predecessors, to tell that damn story right. That is probably my biggest issue with you. 2 individuals. And I didn't know it until I just had this conversation with my wife. So no, you're not going to do this damn movie without T'Challa in it. It's non-negotiable. I need you to know that. I need you to feel that. I need you to understand that. It's not a threat. It's a promise. It's not like something bad is going to happen, but hell, what has already transpired? If you rocking with me right now, those of y'all that's been rocking with me will tell you I said early last year, January last year, this movie ain't coming out without T'Challa in it. I'm not reversing course. Ryan, Nate, get it right. Apologize to the Bozeman family. Do the story right. Then, after you finish doing that, you do a movie based on the life of Chadwick Boseman. You can at the very least, do that. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and everything like that, but when you have some animosity towards somebody and it's not for something personal, you owe it to yourself to do some deep research and some reflection to figure out whether or not it's valid or not. You're like, what? Why don't I like y'all? Oh, that's what that is. You disrespecting those that came before you. That in and of itself is a damn shame. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace.